You okay?
No, I'm good. It's stupid, but I could use a little hand lifting it up.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, no worries, man.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good.
That's a big one, huh?
Yeah. It's my first time ever doing ADV riding, you too.
Oh, for real? That's awesome.
Videos I've been riding for 10 years, but ADV. And I was an idiot, and I obviously started on a heavy bike.
No worries. Let me get it. Oh, we good. Hold on. Let me get more of it. I got like, so much gear as well. Let me point my bike on the downhill.
Are you on a trip right now?
Just an overnight. I'm gonna go stay at do you know where Tallulah River campground is? It's kind of by Lake Burton.
I'm from Miami, actually. So.
Oh, for real? Where are you heading to?
So I'm heading back down now, but I was at the tail of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I was in Charleston, South Carolina, up to the tail, and I'm gonna stop tonight in Atlanta, stay at a friend's house.
How badass. Yeah, I live in Atlanta.
Nice.
Do you know where in Atlanta?
Sandy
Springs? Yeah. Do you know how to get this bike up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like this, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to step on the kickstanders over that. Would be helpful.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we're both over here, because your stands out, it should be fine. There you go. Keep going. No worries. Beautiful bike, man. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. Like even that thing, when I fall over and I got gear on, it's heavy. So I can just imagine what this is like to pick up.
Yeah. I dropped it already once, but it landed on the slope. And I'm only doing the inside track because.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was on the slope, so I was able to like lift it up pretty easy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are you heading that way?
I am. How far away from the road is it?
You still got a ways to go.
2 miles or so, you say?
I guess, I don't know. Like you said, because you travel so slowly, it's hard to tell exactly. What you can do is if you take a left on, I think 33 A, and then that's a pretty quick cut through to it's called Cavender Gap, and then Cavender Gap will take you to Highway 60, and then you take a left on Highway 60, and then it'll get that'll run you right into Dahlonega, and it'll run you right into 400 South. You got navigation? Bring it up. I'll show you.
When I'm going that way.
What year is this?
16.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I got a really good deal, and I didn't expect to get this.
Yes. So this is Duncan Ridge.
Yeah.
All right.
Go back, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
From there.
Let me see if I can find you 33A. Yeah. So, but if 180, it's not showing you on this Forest Service road. Let me see something. If so you see we're on Duncan Ridge.
Okay.
And if we go back this way,
Are you Australian?
South African.
South African.
Yeah.
Have you traversed Africa or South Africa?
No. Same thing. I only got into this 2 years ago as well myself.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pick it up on my phone. Hold on.
And how long have you been in the States for?
I moved here in 99.
Oh.
Yeah, I moved here in 99, so a long time. How about you? Lived in Miami the whole time?
No, I was born in Boston. I've only lived in Miami for like a year and a half.
Cool. You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man.
It's flat though. That's the only thing I don't like.
All right, so see where are we? Okay, here we are. So if you go back, or if you carry on that way, you're gonna see there's a I know it's 33A.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Is that where you came from?
Yeah.
How long would you guess that you were on the road already? Oh, on this trail, I should say.
Going slowly, probably 30 minutes. Yeah. Going, it's
And you've done this before?
Yeah, I know this road real well. Yeah.
Is that latter half or is your beginning half, would you say, more intense than this half, or it's just about the same all throughout?
It's pretty, like the going down is pretty bad because there's so many leaves, you can't see which rocks are in the way and that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
No, no, I'm by myself. I'm not.
Yeah, that's the one thing about riding by yourself. It's kind of like exactly like why when I'm by myself I take it easy, because yeah, it's when you get stuck in that, it's difficult. But yeah, if it's definitely not easier, and there's a lot of leaves and you can't see you can't see where rocks are, and that's kind of like I was thinking about that myself, like I'm going so slowly because, you know, normally I try to pick a line and, you know, there's no line, it's just leaves. So sometimes you're hitting rocks and you bump, it bumps you to the side and all that kind of thing.
Both times I've dropped it, it's been stationary. Me trying to get, like, right now I was doing it, so I set my GoPro, I don't even know how far back I have to go and get it.
Oh, you're doing a recording, yeah, and you wanted to do...
Yeah, and doing a slow turn is when I dropped it, wet leaves. And then over there, I was mounting it, and then I just went too far on one side.
Yeah.
I haven't fallen once, like, in motion. Which is...
It's funny, I went down a tight little trail and I did the same thing. I was like, I had to like do a 3-point turn, and I was like, but it's a lot less to pick this sucker up than it is that one. Yeah, if you want to run and get your GoPro, and if you're thinking about just heading back that way, and then I'll stick with you just so that in case.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Yeah. If it was easy to do a 3-point turn, I'd ride down, but I'm gonna probably end up in the same situation.
Yeah, it's pretty tight back there. Man, definitely a great looking GS. Sure is a beauty. But I can tell he's got the similar issue that I have. His tires are about an 80-20 split, kind of like my Shinko 705. I think mine might even be a tiny bit more aggressive.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh, no worries, man. Not at all. No worries at all.
And how's this been treating you?
It's been great. You know, same thing, kind of like what you're saying. You know, like I said, I was on street bikes my whole life. I still have my Honda RC51.
V4, right?
V-twin, yeah. And then it was at the in July of 2020. You know, right after like the pandemic, you know, Atlanta reopened. I told my co-worker, I was like, I'm flying to Denver. I'm gonna rent a bike and I'm just gonna go ride through Colorado. I'd never done like adventure riding, you know, but like you said, I wasn't even intending on doing it then. And I was just like, you know, I'll just go through riding through the mountain passes and then I'll rent a bike. And I ended up renting a Tenere 1200. You know, the same, yeah. But so I stayed on all the mountain passes. I did one little off-road section, and then when I got back, I was like, man, this is amazing. I gotta jump more into this. And so I went down the rabbit hole of, like you said, trying to pick a bike and all that kind of thing. And the one thing that kept coming up was, I was like, I ride solo a lot. I was like, weight's an issue. So I went through that whole thing, you know what I mean? Like, so I, you know, obviously gave the thought to the Tenere 700 and the KTM 890, 790, but even still, like, they're still about 100 pounds more.
More than that?
Yeah, and I wasn't sure, you know, I was like, you know, maybe obviously a, you know, higher price point, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'll even like this, you know what I mean? So let me just start with this and see if I like it, and we'll go from there. And yeah, I fell in love with it, man. And then beginning of this year, I bought a second bike, a little Honda Rally 250.
Oh, is that the street legal one?
Yeah, it's also street legal, yeah. And I bought that with just the intentions of letting buddies borrow it. I was like, I had such a good time last year doing this. I was like, I got to introduce some friends to this. Yeah. And so that's what happened. I let I took a bunch of buddies away with me, let them use that bike, and a bunch of them ended up now buying their own bike. So we got a pretty fun crew now that goes all the time. But But every now and then, like I said, on like I got a Monday and a Tuesday off, I'll just jump on and come up here, and I knew I hadn't been up here since the leaves started changing, so I was like, this would be a perfect opportunity.
What are you doing for lodging? You said a cabin or?
No, I camp, yeah, tent camp, yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
I did 2 nights up in Daytona for Biketoberfest, just 1 night there, and then in Charleston, South Carolina, but like at campgrounds. And then, yeah, I've been on the road since Thursday.
Wow.
But like you, I was always street bikes. I actually had a Z1000.
Yeah.
And I rode that from Miami to LA and back.
Wow.
And that's when I was like in Arizona and New Mexico. I'm like, look at all these trails. I should be on an adventure bike. When I came back, I put it for sale, sold it. I had a KLR for a little bit that I bought as a fixer-upper and then sold it for a little profit. And so I combined those two, negotiated for a guy for this one, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't expect to get this. But since Miami, everything's an interstate, and I imagine Atlanta's similar.
Yeah.
I was like, and I ride a 2 up a lot with my fiance. So I was like, I know that I'm gonna do this once in a blue moon, because it's not really out there. So I was happy to get this because of the street performance as well. But I have a second bike now, and my dream is to go to Argentina like everyone. And this is by far the bike I would do it on. Over KLR, over anything.
They say, just because, it's unchanged since 96. Mm-hmm. So if you go into any countries where parts are limited, it's just basically a motor and a carburetor. That's it,
And I don't know how South Africa is. My family is actually from Brazil, and security is a huge thing.
Yeah.
This will stand out, but not the same way.
Yeah, this
is a target. Yours
is
just a target. They'll know it's a bigger bike, but it'll also blend in.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she should do, man. It's funny you say that, because I'm thinking of actually maybe next year getting a bigger adventure bike to take 2 up on, because like you said, this year I let my buddies do it, and then this next year I was like, I have a bunch of female friends who obviously never going to get their bike license or whatever, so I was like, I should totally get something bigger, and then at least let them experience this a little bit. So that sounds like what you need to do, just get a second bike,
The 250 sounds perfect. But
yeah, those rallies, man, they're phenomenal. That little 250 rally will do 80 miles an hour on the freeway without effort, and then up in like situations like this, it's more fun than this because it's so light. You know what I mean? It's so forgiving. The power is so linear. It's just so fun.
I had my first bike ever was a CBR 250.
Oh yeah,
So
it's the same motor.
Same platform. Does yours have a radiator?
Yeah, it's actually the same motor as the CBR 250. Honda was like, this works great in a street platform. Let's throw it into this dual sport, and that's why it revs. It revs high. It does fantastic, man.
Yeah, I remember you really get to work the gears.
Yeah.
This whole trail I've only been in first.
Oh yeah.
You get to get out of first.
I first and second. Yeah. But yeah, with the amount of torque you have, yeah.
Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Yeah. And like I said, I'm going so slow, so don't feel any type of pressure or anything like that. It's easy going.
I did a lot of 4x4ing, so I had a Jeep.
Yeah.
I have a Jeep, but up in New England, this is bread and butter. This would be easy on the
Yeah.
Jeep. So I have like an off-road orientation, more or less, but never done it. So
like I said, I come up here all the time, but this is the first time I've ridden this year with all these leaves, and even I'm like, man, it's, you know what I mean? Like you said, we're pretty high up, and this, the drop-offs here are steep. So I was like, I don't want to hit any rock and get bounced to the right. So
before we go, do you want to sit on this if you want to see what it feels like, or?
Oh no, I believe you. Yeah. I appreciate it though. You want me to lead or you want to lead?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to do more practice reading lines and then.
Sounds good. The only suggestion I make is on blind corners, try and stick to this side, or in this situation, like you said, if you want me to go first, because people do use Jeeps on here and there are other bikes on here. A couple of weeks ago, these guys had a collision up here because both guys were, you know, on that side of the road. So if you're gonna lead, but just on your blind corners, just, you know, merge it around. But then as soon as you can see all the way through, you can, you know, if you feel more comfortable, hug that inside line. But that's the only thing, just careful, because there are guys with SUVs and Jeeps and all that kind of thing.
I'll have you lead.
Okay.
That's a good tip. Thank you, man.
You got it. Yeah, no, you had a ways to go.
For that?
Yeah, there's a big ways to go before that, yeah.
I noticed a little bit of smoke, but I imagine it's because it laid on the cylinder head.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of oil, yeah, because
It was burning oil.
yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about that at all. But yeah, exactly, because it's, you know, the boxer motor, it was just oil. It'll burn right off.
Dude, you're like a guardian angel out of the sky.
No worries, man. What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel Uli.